If you're edge cause I'm whizzing all the grindage, just chill. Cause if I had a whole Brady Bunch thing happening at my pad, I'd grind over here, so don't tax my gig so hard, cruster. Alright, let's hear yours.
If you're edged cause I'm wheezing all over your grind edge, just chill. You did it perfectly. Cause if I had the whole Brady Bunch thing happening at my pad, I'd go grind over there. So don't text my gig so hardcore, cruster.
You have officially lost all your California. Like, you are too ingrained in Chicago now.
No. Okay, hold on. I was trying to do him.
Okay, you gotta let it all out. Like, you gotta go full Venice Beach, even though they're Encino.
Okay, you're right. You're totally right.
Get your Valley Girl on, to put a little Valley Girl in there, because he's a Valley Girl.
Totally. Yeah, he's so true. If you're edged because I'm wheezing all over your grind edge, just chill. Because if I had the whole Brady Bunch thing happening at my pad, I'd go grind over there. So don't tax my gig so hardcore, cruster.
There we go. That was much better.
I wanted to get his... I wanted to be in his register.
You gotta find his rhythm.
I also went to middle school with the kid who played the younger version of Pauly Shore in Buy It Home.
See, like, I remember, was it Son-in-Law? I remember Son-in-Law, and also
Tiffany Amber Thiessen, yeah.
Wait, I thought it was
and another actor, but Tiffany was like the other woman, like.
Okay, because what's her name? Carla Gugino. That's her, right? And,
yeah.
Woof, Carla Gugino has never not been just a bombshell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's such a good actor. And have you seen what's that Stephen King movie? It's on Netflix. It's like
immediately no. I've only seen The Mist.
Oh, okay. If Gerald's Game. Great. I don't know if it's what's his name? Mike Flanagan, who does like all the Netflix stuff. But a great, oh my gosh, her and Bruce Greenwood. Like, it basically, they go to a cabin.
I've seen things.
Go to a cabin to like reignite their sex life, and he like handcuffs her to a bed and then has a heart attack. And so she's just like handcuffed to a bed in the middle of nowhere, like in a cabin, but it's just a great movie. But before he has a heart attack, like, he's like in his boxer briefs and she's like in a little negligee. Two of the hottest people ever. Crazy.
Wait, so there's no like crazy monsters or anything? It's just like what happens if you're locked up in a cabin?
Yeah, like, she has to deal with like her, like, nighttime comes, and like, are these like delusions? Are these things really in here?
Okay, so it's like, not just a exploration of what?
Yeah, there's like, what's real and what's not kind of stuff. And it's a really, really good movie. So it is a Netflix original, so it should still be on there, but you probably have to search for it. But definitely recommend that.
Okay, so we are talking about Rudy. No, we're talking about...
We should be! I have to know. Because, and honestly, you know what? I was, like, when the poll first ended, Goonies won. And you know what? I've never seen...
By a sliver of a hair. It
was tied on Twitter. And honestly, we're going to go by all the numbers here. We counted all the votes. We counted YouTube,
I do think you were
Instagram.
wrong about YouTube, because there was 12 votes. So I think Encino Man was ahead by a couple. It wasn't, it was
there was
44%.
12 votes, and 44% is 5, and 33% is 4. I literally did the math.
I didn't understand that.
Yes.
Okay.
So
sorry.
Encino Man lost the first vote, and then we had an outcry. We had a January 6th of our fans, and they demanded a recount. They said the election was rigged, and we got this movie.
I will say this. The maybe one failing on my part was not telling everybody everywhere that there are polls other places, because people saw Encino Man won in one place, but then the votes tallied for Goonies in another place. So newsflash, everybody, we're using multiple polls everywhere.
Multiple platforms because you need multiple platforms nowadays.
And also, I'm not going to get angry about all the engagement that we had. Right. It's the best we've ever done so far.
I
You've not seen Goonies though, right?
I have never seen Goonies.
So we still should do that for your sake eventually.
Maybe that'll be a Patreon episode.
The only saving grace about this not being Goonies is that Ke Huy Quan is in Encino Man, which I kind of love.
They talked about that too. They did when they did the Actors Roundtable, because him and Brendan Fraser won the same year. He won Best Supporting, Brendan Fraser won Best Actor, and so it was. And so they did
do this. Oh, how funny!
Yeah, they were I can't remember who else was at the roundtable. Probably all the other nominees, Austin Butler and stuff like that, still doing it. Oh, so you guys were in Encino Man, huh?
God.
Thank you very much.
I don't like him, but good for him.
but yeah, it was a really sweet moment of them kind of being reunited after these many years.
And I have the feeling that because Sean Astin's friends with him from Goonies, and Ke Huy Quan hasn't done anything, he's like, sure, come do this film. You know what I mean? I have that feeling. But yeah, it is nice to see him there. Brendan Fraser, I love him so much. It's not a hard ask to watch him in this film.
This is the definition of when you're this good looking, you can just do whatever you want and everyone will love you.
But the fact that he's willing to do it.
Oh no, this movie doesn't deserve this level of commitment from an actor, but he's going for it. When he drinks the water on the sidewalk, he's drinking. You can scrub all you want. You're still drinking water from a curb. So he's going for it.
Encino curb. No, he totally is. Then the trash can comes right. He you know what he reminds me of now that I'm thinking about it? I was genuinely pleased with JLo's performance in Shotgun Wedding because she is not afraid to go for it. She doesn't make herself look crazy or anything.
I haven't seen Shotgun Wedding.
It's fun. It's fun, if anything, right? And she just commits to the bits. Mm-hmm. She really does. And he is primo, good looking, commit dude.
He is insanely handsome.
He really is.
He is I hate that we have to recast him when we do, because he is Elf Peter Jackson good looking in this movie.
Wow, that's really, really fair. I was leading up to say Brendan Fraser, thank goodness, is charming because Sean Astin is ass.
What were they thinking when they wrote this character? And it's crazy because in every other thing, Sean Astin is the nicest guy on the planet. Even 50 First Dates was another option. He's just protecting his sister, but he's
Correct.
a bit he's all roided out, but he can't fight because he's a big softie. So even when he's trying to play an a-hole, he can't. But in this one, he's obsessing over a girl who has a boyfriend. And honestly, until the end, I'm not mad at the quote-unquote bully. I'm sorry, if I saw a guy over again hitting on my girlfriend, I don't think I'd staple him to a wall, but...
You'd have a talking to.
Yeah, when he puts it, what are you doing? You just saw me making out with her publicly, and you decided to shoot your shot, and this isn't... Yeah, this isn't the first time he's done it. And then when they go to the hockey rink, he's got a baby photo of them in the bathtub, and he says, "Oh, your body was great back then," or something.
No. She made that joke. But it is weird because he's we've been naked together before, and she goes, "Yeah, nice bod," or something. Because it's weird that he's saying this.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can show everybody." And what? I don't know in the context of the story how he ends up with the girl, because and then he literally fucking leaves Brendan Fraser on the side of the road because the girl wants to go to prom with him. And then
it's offensive.
No, it is truly, it's not just he's a high schooler. Those I can forgive because we were all stupid. We were all little a-holes. No, he's a bad person.
He really is. And he doesn't even deserve... I'm shocked to say he doesn't deserve Stoney as a friend.
He doesn't.
Is a good guy. So this movie, have you seen Can't Buy Me Love?
No.
Okay. Very fun. Still really enjoyable, even if, like, I wasn't born when I was just, it was made in 1986, and that was the year I was born. I watched it later, and I watched it since recently because it's Patrick Dempsey being so cute, and he basically gives the popular girl that he has a crush on money to buy a dress so that he could be popular for a week.
Oh, okay.
And change his trajectory.
Yeah.
So it's basically, instead of the girl, Brendan Fraser is the girl. Like, hey, we'll use her to be, but Patrick Dempsey ends up becoming popular, and she ends up having feelings for him, but she's like mad that he's not his genuinely geek self. He actually does like really mean things to his best friend. Like, he has like a big growth. It's a big growth from this character. You don't get any of that here. The only reason I do bring it up, though, is it solidified the fact that this is Can't Buy Me Love, because there's a scene where he's desperate to watch American Bandstand to learn the latest dance move.
Okay.
And his younger brother, who's Seth Green at his most pimpliest, obnoxious age, realizes he's not been watching American Bandstand. He's been watching like African beats, and so he takes all these like dance moves from an African tribe in a sex ritual. And basically, Brendan Fraser does that because he goes back all the way to that video that used the Aboriginal tribe dance moves.
Oh, okay.
So there was a really nice. It is Can't Buy Me Love without the charm of real emotions. Sean Astin has no comeuppance, has no lesson, No,
like he punches Stoney and then he's like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "It's okay." And that's it. Like how this movie should have gone is that they all should have gotten popular, and then Sean Astin should have been hanging out with the jocks and wearing a Letterman and like, "Oh, I don't need you anymore, Link," like whatever. But the fact that Link becomes popular, which also works, but then Link should have become a jerk or something like that, just unknowing. Like Link should have gone and hung with the jocks, like
monkey see, monkey do, like he kind of was doing with
like,
Stoney.
These are and he's a caveman, so like, these are the stronger like other cavemen, so I go hang out with them. I have a new popular girlfriend. I'm gonna leave you guys behind. And then like he learns like, oh, this is the new world. I protect my tribe or something like that. Sure. And we don't get any of that. It's a series of set pieces like over and over again where he comes out of the ground, does everything, which is great. And then they go to, what do they call it? Mystic Mountain or something like, definitely not Magic Mountain. No. Definitely not Six Flags. I don't know if they filmed that like guerrilla style with like tiny cameras. Like, oh, we got to do this real quick. They didn't.
No, they didn't. Because you have the two girls in the back who spiked the camera. They're like, who probably thought Brendan Fraser was so hot when they're on the roller coaster.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they definitely went back to the trailer after that with Brendan Fraser and Pauly Shore. Like, come on now.
All those 6 girls in their bikinis on the splash. I mean,
game over.
They partied
day hard. In the life of Pauly Shore in the 90s. He's like, only 6? Tough day.
He slayed, man. He slayed.
But like, this movie was just, I was ready with Goonies. I was ready to be like, kind of the same with North, where I understand what people love about this and why this is this revered children's classic, but maybe I just watched it too late. And with North, I was pleasantly surprised that I still enjoyed myself.
Totally.
But with this, I've seen this movie before. I grew up with this movie. I had not seen it in a long time.
Had you seen it?
Yeah, I'd seen Encino Man. And I remember, I don't remember a lot of it. I remember the pool, because I remember when they're like swimming in it, I'm like, that is, even as a kid, I was like, that is disgusting.
It really is.
Just like the fact that they just come back from prom and he's got like the overhead lights and everyone's jumping in. I'm like, that's just mud water.
They had it. They could have had this locked, right? Like you could have had Brendan Fraser like try to be like repentant and clay everything up in the pool and make it look beautiful and look like a cave scene in Vegas. Do you know what I mean? He could have made a grotto.
Yeah.
They just are swimming in a dirt pile. It's wild.
Man, talk about saving on budget, though, because they really just did build a hole and fill it with water.
And this is like how sad people and how desperate people must have been in LA to be in a film that they're swimming in dirt water. People
for
got
sure.
sick. You know, people got listeria or something.
Okay, absolutely. And just like even the beginning of this movie where like I don't like anybody besides Link. Like I don't, because even like Stoney, it's kind of using Link for his own purposes. Like he's just like going out and getting babes and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's having a good time with him. Here's the thing. From the dialogue, from the beginning of the dialogue, even Sean Astin throws dirt on him the first time we see him. Like, Sean Astin's not a good friend to him. Like, and his dialogue is like, man, I'm good just as I am. You know, like he's a more self-actualized person, and I do like him more.
He's very just like in tune with himself. And even Sean Astin's opening dialogue where it's just like I know she's dating that other guy. I don't know what she sees in him. And then he just like lists off everything. He's like, yeah, but what else? That was funny. But then just like, I've never seen a school so obsessed with prom before. Like,
I think it's within the couple of weeks that this happens. So like when you get that close to it, listen, prom is the conceit for many a film. So I kind of get it. Like, she's just also wishy-washy too. She's like holding Dave's hand when they steal the car and they defy gravity for.
Yeah.
Do you remember that era of putting cars up on two wheels? They did it in Twins, I believe.
I haven't seen. That's another movie I haven't seen in forever.
I'm pretty sure somehow Arnold Schwarzenegger gets up on those because I think he's weighing the car down too. I'm pretty sure. Someone tell me if I'm correct. But like in the 90s, someone learned that you could do that on this car, and they kept on doing it. But like she's holding Dave's hand, and then she's turned on for Link, and it's just she doesn't even know what she wants.
Honestly, like I can't blame her though. Like look at Brendan Fraser. Look at him in this movie. It's insane. Like he is so like when they do him up and shower him off and everything. That reveal is stupid. It's just stupid. Like
even
the
his
fact that this man
is so good.
I know people age, and I think he still looks great now. But the fact that he ever fell out of stardom, like I'd seen The Mummy and stuff like that. This man was just like an action star. It's just crazy how Hollywood works.
Well, his falling out of stardom is for a sad reason. He left because he was molested.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
He faded. He had a very traumatic experience at a party, and he was molested by a man.
Was that like, was it the same guy that like molested Terry Crews? Because didn't that happen to Terry Crews as well?
It did happen to Terry Crews. I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know that Brendan Fraser has ever said who it was.
Okay.
And I'm also just remembering the interview. But for the most part, he was highly traumatized and like self-ejected.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And he actually worked in Bollywood for a long time.
He belongs there.
I know.
Have you seen RR? I'm not a Bollywood expert. I've seen like a handful of movies. All those people on screen are stupid hot.
and just committed to the bit too. So I tried to watch RRR when Alex and I were on vacation. And when the first scene happened, I said no. I self-ejected.
No, you gotta watch it.
I understand. I wasn't ready for it, and because I had just come off of a couple of very fun movies. We watched it with my channel, but we watched like Vikram, which is very fun, and it's an older action hero movie. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of the movie that we watched on our channel, and everyone's gonna yell at me because it was like also my sound effects for a long time when someone subscribed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some good ones, man. I'm with you. There's great Bollywood stuff, but RRR was too real for me to handle at the moment. And so when I have to be prepared for what I'm about to watch,
For sure.
if that makes sense.
You got to be in the Bollywood mindset of like knowing you're going to get like these full dance numbers and like the most over the top like action and stuff like that.
No, I'm talking about the horror aspect. The like it was a very real element of like
all the colonialism and stuff.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That was just a little too harrowing and upsetting for me to watch. So like that when that first scene happened, I went, I don't feel good about this. I can't watch it right now.
It's a pretty tough opening.
Yeah. A real and important watch. One that I wasn't emotionally prepared for because I didn't expect it. So yeah, Brendan Fraser's story is actually sad, but that's why it's really cool to see him go, you know what, I'm back. I feel better about this. And I'm ready to tell the honest truth about my story. And here I am. And you're totally right. Like, God, there's nothing he could do wrong. He was just so cute and so good and so tall and so good looking. And you know what? Pauly Shore is not bad. It's just weird.
No, it's just a moment in time where we just got this guy doing his thing and a director would hire him and just be like, just go. Just go.
You could not direct this person, I'm sure.
No. And I remember laughing my ass off at Pauly Shore. What was it? He went to the army. Is it In the Army Now? Is that,
oh my God, yes.
Like that one with what's his name? David Allen Greer.
God. Is that right? Is he in that? I haven't seen that one in years.
Like that one was like, you know, same. I haven't seen it since, you know, our first rent on Blockbuster. In the Army Now. Oh my God, I got it right. What's his name? David Allen Greer, who's one of the funniest people on the planet, and Andy Dick is with him. I have escorted both Andy Dick and Pauly Shore off the Saddle Ranch premises before.
Are you serious?
I am absolutely serious. They would come in every once in a while, and they'd either already be at 100 or they would quickly get there. And
I watched
crazy times.
I watched an episode of Sex and the City, and they're visiting LA, and they go to Saddleback. They're definitely at Saddle Ranch.
Yeah.
God, that's a career low if you're going to Saddle Ranch.
It used to be a spot. I will say that it used to be a spot because, like,
but if you're going over the hill to drink, like, that's something. That says something.
No, there's one in Hollywood.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like right down the street from like House of Blues and the Comedy Store and stuff.
Oh, so then that's why they would be there. Okay, then I'm all wrong. I never went to that one, I don't think.
Did you only go to the Universal one?
I never even went to that. I just know about that one.
Okay. Yeah.
So that makes way more sense.
Yeah, no one's going to the Universal one.
Well, I mean, if you're on vacation, you're going.
No, yeah,
there.
that place was. They shut it down a while ago because like Universal wanted to own everything on City Walk.
Oh.
And like that place would get crazy packed.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so yes, I'm just trying to think about like this from an actor comedian standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pauly Shore is so confident in what he brings to the table that he's even like gentle about. He's not like forceful with his performance. Do you know what I mean?
No, like he's never. And that's the thing is that even with someone like Robin Williams, who's just a national treasure, you can tell like he's owning the scene. Like he's like first and foremost like presenting himself, and he can do a lot of different things, but like in his big zany roles, or like Eddie Murphy, you know, I just watched Beverly Hills Cop, and I listened to a podcast about it, and did you know that he was 23 in Beverly Hills Cop?
When I learned those kind of things, it actually shocks me.
I couldn't.
How are you that good at 23? How?
He was 21 in 48 hours. Like, it's so I should have known, because obviously he's not 80 right now.
Right.
But it felt like he was like 35.
45.
Yeah. Because he was just so sure of himself. And it's like with that, when there are really quiet moments in that first Beverly Hills Cop, but like when he does his Eddie Murphy thing, when he's got to like pretend to be this guy to like get a free hotel room or something. He's like, "Oh, I'm from the Rolling Stone. I'm here to interview Michael Jackson and all these things." And when he does his Eddie thing, he takes over and he becomes larger than life. And in this movie, even when it's just Link and Stoney, he's still just chilling, man. Like, we're just talking with the babes. Like,
how did he discover this character? When did he make it his whole life? And it's just unbelievable. You know how, have you heard that like there's drama over him wanting to play Richard, who's the guy
what?
The exercising guy, the gay guy.
Oh, Richard Simmons.
Okay, Richard Simmons, which only connection between the last movie we just watched, which was North. Richard Simmons is dancing in one of the seven TVs that Winchell has. Pauly Shore wants to do a biopic of Richard Simmons.
That's two totally different. No, that's two totally different energies, though.
But he did do it. He did like a short film of and the thing is like he looks like him enough where
he does. He
could do it. But like the short film's not bad, but Richard Simmons is vehemently opposed.
Yeah, it's just like when you're known for doing this very kind of kitschy, like time capsule-y thing, it's tough. Even like Jim Carrey, like it took him a few movies. Like people were like, oh, what is the comedian trying to be serious now with Truman Show and The Majestic and stuff like that. And even Robin Williams, like luckily Robin Williams was just like the biggest star on the planet with Mork and Mindy, and then like, he can't get any bigger, and then he got bigger, and then they're like, he can't get any bigger than that, and then he got even bigger than that with Aladdin, and it's just like, it takes a lot for a comedian to be taken seriously as an actor, but especially when Pauly Shore is just an entity on his own. Like as soon as you say Pauly, like you couldn't, if it wasn't for us watching this. Like, he got the and in this movie. It's like Sean Astin, Brendan Fraser, like, whoever else, and Pauly Shore.
I had to explain that
exactly what you're getting.
I had to explain to Alex that that's a different tax bracket.
No, yeah, if you get the and or the with, you're basically co-lead. Like, you might be last, but if you get the and, you're the co-lead.
Or the reason we're watching this movie.
Yes.
Now, the thing is the reason why Pauly Shore doesn't hold a candle to a Jim Carrey or a Robin Williams is he's not talented enough. He's good at projecting this one character, or but Robin Williams has depth. His ability to be a serious actor makes him a fantastic comedian. Jim Carrey is a little bit different. Jim Carrey was also like a insane commit to the bit dude who knew that he needed to have Jeff Daniels as his co-lead for Dumb and Dumber because Jim Carrey was the comedian and he needed an actor to ground him.
Yeah.
But I think Jim Carrey then ended up realizing he had more potential beyond that to be serious and probably was coached a lot to become a better actor. But Pauly Shore, I don't know that he has that field of depth to be a serious actor.
I'd love to see it. I don't see Richard Simmons. Like, I see physically Richard Simmons,
right?
But just like those are such different energies that I'm like morbidly curious about it. But you know what? Like, give me a Pauly Shore. Brendan Fraser just came back and won his Oscar. Give me a Pauly Shore drama. You know what? A24, you can do, like, if A24 came out tomorrow with some family horror drama starring Pauly Shore, like, I'm sorry. That's a 30 million. If it has even middling like a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, that is $20 million opening weekend. And you're only going to spend $10 million on the movie. So you've already doubled your budget. You've made your money back. Like, everyone would, at least from our age, would be, oh, is he trying this? I gotta see this.
I don't know that you're correct, but I love your optimism with regards.
Absolutely, like the movie Pig made money with Nicolas Cage.
Sure.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Like,
all you need is the line, "Where's my pig?
Where's my pig?" And even people that thought that was going to be a John Wick movie going into it, and like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. Oh my God, I'm crying. Like,
that's honestly why I didn't watch it. I didn't want to know that the pig was dead, and I couldn't handle it. I just, I'm sure you're learning a lot about me and my sensibilities today. But
no, I totally understand. There's people out there that are very sensitive to animal abuse, and totally understandable. There's nothing really on screen that you see, but it is.
I just didn't want it to die. I just don't want. I'm sad about it.
Yeah,
I just couldn't handle it. I didn't think it was gory. I just didn't want to live in a world where that pig was dead. His best friend. I don't like that. There are some really, really funny moments in this film. And you know what I like about it too is that it cooks. It doesn't like linger on.
It's 88 minutes long with credits, so that means it's like 80 minutes long. It's cooking with gas.
It really is. When he like when he's playing video games and she's hitting on him and he like there's just a lot of really enjoyable stuff.
See, for me though, it's like I compared this and North, like, because Pirates of the Caribbean's like obviously this like epic that we're sailing everywhere through the 7 seas and meeting new characters, like North, and this is just little tiny bits throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I found the bits in North way more enjoyable and engaging, like, than this one. After, like, how does it go? It goes him emerging, and then do they go to school first and then Magic Mountain? By the time we got to Magic Mountain, I was kind of like, okay, here's another Link
sequence.
Montage.
Yeah,
and I was kind of, and then after that they go to the bar and they get drunk and he's drinking salsa. I was like, okay, here's another one. It's just, it felt like they were, like you said, they had Can't Buy Me Love, and they're like, okay, now we have to fill 45 minutes.
Right.
How are we gonna do that?
With the joke. Yeah. Now, it didn't bother me because watching Brendan Fraser do all these things was like, even when he's like doing the acrobatics and stuff, it's very enjoyable. But I'm with you. It's just a sight gag, lighthearted film, I would say. But my biggest disappointment is how unredemptive Sean Astin is and how undeserving he is of Pauly Shore's affection, Link's affection, or Robin's affection.
Just the worst.
Yeah.
One of the worst main character, quote unquote, protagonists that we've ever had in film. And like, I say that with my fucking chest, especially because it's Sean Astin. How do you fuck that up?
Yeah.
Like, how do you make him like, and it felt like he didn't enjoy this role either. Cause like, it felt like he was sleepwalking through the role where he's like, oh yeah, I really want to go to prom with Robin. Oh, guys, what are you doing? Like, it felt like, and this was like,
so true.
I don't know, you never know, and I'm sure Sean Astin was aware of it. Like, you never know when the checks are going to stop coming. And as a child actor, more than anything, so it felt like he should be giving it his all in this role. And I don't know if he was like was he a nerd? Was he too cool? Like, it felt like where it's like, oh, be nice to everybody. It's like, you know what? I don't like bullies. Bullies are mean people. But you know what? Even the quiet, nerdy kids in school were also fucking assholes. Like, just because you, like, were a nerd in school doesn't make you, like, an automatically nice person. And that's who Sean Astin was. Sean Astin, if you transport hit him in 2024, he's got a YouTube channel, and he's screaming about the Acolyte right now about how woke it is. And he's going up to any girl with a band t-shirt saying, oh, name 5 Nirvana songs. That's who Sean Astin's character is right now.
Wow.
Is like he's doing the street interviews of like, oh, do you like guys that are short? Oh, sorry. And then like goes over to his Lamborghini and then like, oh, he's like, sorry, I don't date gold diggers. That's the energy. Like, he's just a YouTube troll if you put him in 2024 where he's the quote unquote, but I'm a nice guy. You're not. You're not a nice guy at all. And it's so, I think I'm so frustrated because it's Sean Astin, because it's my beloved Sam. And even, 20 years later, when all the kids get introduced to him in Stranger Things in season 2, he's Winona Ryder's boyfriend, and he's the sweetest thing. And spoilers, when he dies, like it's a great death scene where like
it
think he gets away from the Demogorgon dogs, and it's the classic horror movie thing where he smiles and like he's like walking towards the door, and then he just gets blindsided and jumped and like kind of torn apart, and you're like,
it's awful.
It's so bad, but in one season, and they get rid of him. They, like Stranger Things is known for doing that, just like having these new characters fall in love and then die off.
But I still think about him when I watch it.
Yeah, and that's how good he is. Where he gives the little Noah Schnapp kid like the big pep talk of like, oh, you just got to face your bullies and all these things, and it's like he makes you just so not Adele. What's the
endeared?
Thank you. Yeah. I couldn't think of the word. He's so endearing, and so it's like so frustrating where with Rudy, with 50 First Dates,
even Goonies, like, why I know you haven't seen it, but like he's having a tough time. He has asthma.
Yeah.
And he just wants to save his house.
And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what are the directors and writers doing of putting Sean Astin where I know he's not a star or anything like that, but you gotta know who you have. I'm like, you know what? Let's make this guy more likable. Let's make him not so obsessive. Like, oh yeah, they're childhood friends. Let's not have him show up to the hockey rink with a baby photo where they're naked in the bathtub, because that's weird as fuck. Like,
it's so weird.
It's so fucking weird.
I literally went like, oh God. Like,
yeah.
It's just weird. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we're going to ask the questions.
Got our categories coming up, y'all.
Let's go, baby. I'll see you on the other side, buddy. Welcome back to the other half of Podcast of the Rings, where we are talking about Encino Man. If you haven't already, be sure to join our Patreon. You can join it for free, and that way you can keep up with what we're doing. You can vote in polls, or you subscribe to this channel to make sure you get all the episodes as they drop. Because also we got fun things going on our Patreon, right, Ben?
So many fun things on our Patreon.
Like
we're doing Podcast of the Dragons, which like I'm having so much fun watching and talking about. And then, I get so many clips of like, Game of Thrones on TikTok and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Like, I can't wait to get to all these moments. And then me and my family rewatched the first episode of season 2 of Dragons. And we were talking about all the Song of Ice and Fire stuff and how I was like, oh, I can't wait to discuss it fully.
I saw an article that said, please don't bring White Walkers into House of Dragons.
No, I love all the thirst trap edits of Cregan Stark and how they did his accent, basically like Sean Bean and Kit Harington and stuff like that. Like, that was a great, like turn up that Stark theme. Chewie, we're home type thing. But again, you fucked up Song of Ice and Fire. You can't keep referencing it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, we're talking all about it. Once we finish House of the Dragon season 2, we'll be going on to GOT, and we'll probably do some watch alongs with that as well. That's just at $5, and you can join for 7 days for free at that tier to see if you even like this podcast that we're doing. But for now, let's finish up our talks about Encino Man, which we both loved so much. You got those questions?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
Real quick. If you want to go on IMDb, what is there a name for his girlfriend at the end of the movie?
Oh. I don't know.
I was trying to look and see who that was, because Cave Nug is that?
Yeah, maybe nugs are girls?
Maybe.
I guess so. I mean, she's a hottie.
Like, talk about going
Yeah.
band for band, where you have Brendan Fraser come out of, his makeover, and then honestly, her abs are crazy. She's got a washboard. But I was just looking at it, and like I clicked on like this actress named Tracy Daly, and I just was reading her IMDb. Like, Tracy Daly is an internationally accomplished actress, writer, radio host, model, full illusion magician, and is probably the only producer in the entertainment industry who can claim the record of Playboy's most photographed lingerie model. I was like, that, you know what? I is it bad that I'm most interested in her being a magician?
No. Nope, not at all. Yeah, she is the cave woman to Brendan. Sandra Hess is.
That's who I thought. Sandra Hess. Okay, gotcha.
Yep, just she's a cave nug. I did not realize nugs meant that. I thought nugs were.
I think that's what Pauly Shore calls it. Like, do you miss your cave nug or something like that?
I guess I thought he was talking about balls, but we're moving on. It's definitely not talking about balls.
Definitely not talking about balls.
All right.
So first question. What was the best moment for this actor, Sean Astin?
Wow.
Not a great start.
No. It's hard. Ugh.
I honestly would have to say that it's the fight with Stoney, just because that's the only time I see him like truly engaged in the movie. Everything else is just like, even though it's following him trying to Old Yeller, or get a White Fang. Sorry, White Fang. Go and get out of here.
White Fang, yeah.
Gives him a handful of pocket change and says, "Good luck, buddy." Like, that whole sequence is just the absolute worst. But I do like it actually has him acting, so I guess I'll choose that one. But it's a pretty tough role.
Sure. No, there's nothing really redeemable or likable. I guess when he has like some comeuppance and like sends him off onto the prom with Robin, that could be. I'm with you though, because he's just awful in this.
He really is.
I don't, you know what? I'm not going to answer. I am a conscientious objector.
And it's so funny, like, having the bully, like, it's like this subplot of like, who is this guy? And then he discovers who he is, and then like, oh no, he's going to reveal a secret. He's a caveman. Okay. And then they just cut to the house party. I was like, all right.
That's very funny. I do enjoy that. Like, no stakes.
Well, yeah, like, what did they think was going to happen is my question. Like, did they think, like, he's a caveman, get him? Like, what?
Also, they just straight up believe this guy,
right?
Because he doesn't have that much cachet.
Right. Who in the Fellowship would you recast for this actor?
Instead of Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
Oh. Yeah, you need someone that you don't really like. Like, I don't think Sean Astin isn't the right role for this.
He's not.
It's nice to see Sean Astin.
Christopher Lee would be good in this role.
That's kind of where I was heading. Gollum would be good for this role.
Yes.
But my point is,
like, a young Andy Serkis in this role?
You cast Andy Serkis as Pauly Shore's character, I think.
No, we'll get to that. I know who Pauly Shore is.
Okay. Sean Bean?
I could see Sean Bean, a young Sean Bean. Make him British too, whatever.
Screw it. This is tough. This is tough to do these questions.
All right, so we'll move the recasting the Fellowship. We'll always do that last. I'll put that last. Does Peter Jackson directing make this movie better? I say 100% yes, because you get some horror elements into like maybe Link, kills a deer or something and is like eating it raw, and then like the first time that's the thing. The salsa scene is funny, but even him eating a piece of like fried chicken, he's never had seasoning before. Like,
it's so true. Yeah, he's like, this is great,
right? him going like eating any fried food at Magic Mountain, his body would shut down.
It's so true. And here's the thing: I'm gonna say Peter Jackson does this movie better for a different reason, because I wouldn't be surprised if Peter Jackson knew what it was like to be a geek and would write this character more lovingly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Give him more comeuppance, give him more nuance, and not make him just so...
Give him an arc, actually, like
yeah.
something.
And he'd probably get a better performance out of Sean Astin, too. And he would let Pauly Shore off the leash, but I'd be curious how that would change. I don't want this to be a horror film, but you'd have maybe more darker moments.
Yeah.
But the reality of the stakes would be higher for sure.
Could the main characters of this movie deliver the ring to Mount Doom? I say no. As much as I love Link, he's getting close.
He wouldn't be able to murder anybody if he needed to.
No, he wouldn't. He couldn't even like fight Gollum for the ring at the end. Like if they were wrestling at Mount Doom.
No, he'd like let it go.
He'd
for
be like,
sure.
okay, whatever.
Yeah, because I don't know how much Link thinks for himself either. Like he's more just experiencing the world, which is beautiful. It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
He has some self-actualization, but not a lot.
How it's a little bit of like the Star Wars fandom is so fucking cooked. Where like I saw like there was someone tweeted the video of Han Solo shooting at Darth Vader. Like it's a really cool moment where, you know, Darth Vader's the biggest bad in all the universe. They open the door and he's there, and Han Solo without hesitation starts shooting at him. And someone replied, I thought this guy was supposed to be like a quick draw expert. This is the worst quick draw I've ever seen on film. I was like, oh my God, I'm begging you, go outside. I'm begging you, sir, to go outside and do anything else. Anything else. And I don't want to be that guy, but why isn't a caveman violent?
Well, maybe he just isn't. Like maybe we think I think that didn't shock me. I think we thought that they are, but maybe he's not.
That doesn't make any sense. How did they survive?
I don't know. Maybe they're really nice. Maybe they share the seeds out of that bowl. Also, there's not a lot of people around them when we get, like, they're in the Ice Age. They're obviously not doing well. And,
yeah, it's true.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I think they either probably didn't. I don't know, Ben. I just thought it was kind of nice that like they flipped the.
It was.
They flipped it on its head. I thought that's what they were trying to say, is that they flipped it on its head.
Yeah, where he was like, "Oh, you might think he's hot now, but he'll take what he wants," and then he
did kind of take some women.
And that's the thing. Like he started that, and you know what? Just like she said, she was really into it.
Not great.
When you look like Brendan Fraser, you can do those things.
When you're Sean Astin and you come up with a baby picture,
that's not... Life lesson. If you look like Sean Astin, don't do that. If you look like Brendan Fraser, shoot your shot.
Listen, I wish I could tell you were wrong, but the same thing out of two different men's mouths are two different things.
It's a life lesson that's very hard to learn.
Yes. Yep. It just is what it is. So I'm with you. I don't think anybody is taking it to the Mount Doom. I don't think with success. Yeah. I think Brendan Fraser the only way the ring ends up in the lava is if Link takes it and falls in.
Yes, by accident.
Yeah.
Like he starts drinking the lava like he does like the salsa or something like that.
Yeah, poor baby.
Yeah. All right. What are some honorable mentions for this actor's best movie?
What do you mean? What's the question? Say
like
again?
What are we talked about like Rudy should have won the poll by a landslide.
Right,
it's easily his best movie.
But no one voted for it, so you're just like I'm very, very Goonies was winning.
Oh, cool. Congrats on your stupid fucking nostalgia for this shitty movie that we are forced to watch. Like, great. So glad.
I'm just saying Goonies was closer than Rudy is my only point.
Again, rose-colored glasses, people. Like, quality over...
To be fair, Alex is on your tip. Alex was like, we shouldn't be watching Rudy right now. He's like, Rudy's a great movie.
Rudy is like legitimately like a really good movie. And it, like, I don't care how historically accurate this one Notre Dame football player. I don't care. Is it a good movie? Yes. It is so heartfelt. This is the Sean Astin that we need, where he keeps getting up after getting like hit, and his girlfriend leaves him for his brother, and he doesn't get into Notre Dame. And then he doesn't get it again. And then he has one more shot and he gets in. And then he makes the practice team. And he's getting his ass kicked over and over again. And like he's going to get some playing time. But then that coach leaves. And he's not going to get any playing time. And then the whole fucking stadium is cheering his name. And he goes in for one play and he doesn't do anything. And they're like, oh my gosh. And he's like, no, stay in. And then he gets a fucking sack. And then he gets carried off the fucking field. No, let's watch Encino Man instead, where he's a giant fucking asshole and he's the biggest creep on the planet and he decides to abandon his friend on the side of a road with $1.35 in his pocket because his stalker girlfriend likes him better than, like, who can blame her, by the way? Low fucking bar to clear there, but thank God we watched Encino Man, guys. Good job.
To be fair, that rant makes me feel like I just watched Rudy, so good job.
Good. Go watch Rudy, everybody. It's a lot better. Go watch 50 First Dates. It's a lot better. I would have rather have been forced to watch the season 2 of Stranger Things over this. But I am legitimately upset about it. Like, Sean Astin has a lot of good movies, and even Goonies. I haven't seen it. It would have been a great first watch for me. But instead, we watched this fucking piece of shit where he's a fucking asshole. Like, oh my God, I'm so upset by this. I shouldn't be. It was 80 minutes of my life. But
Ben has been sitting on this for the entire hour.
I've been waiting for this moment. I have been dancing around it. But
you've been so gentle too. I was like, oh, maybe he won't go off. Maybe he won't.
Like, this is such a terrible movie. Even the time capsule that is Pauly Shore and all his charm and Brendan Fraser's beautiful face and 100% commitment could not save. Every time they cut to fucking Sean Astin, him being an asshole. If I'm on the side of a 90s high school bully, you are doing something wrong.
It's so true. It's so true.
This is a legitimately terrible movie. Like, I am a full nostalgia guy. Like, I love Heavyweights. I love Brink. I love all these Disney Channel original movies that are not good, but I grew up with them, so I love them. We just watched North that has like a 4 on IMDb. I liked it. This is a bad movie, and you're bad people for voting for it.
All right, moving on.
Let's put The Fellowship in this movie. This is going to be fun.
I do love doing this podcast with you. Let's put The Fellowship as Sean Astin's character. You don't cast. See, this is kind of a similar character. It's a similar question as the first one. Who is Dave Morgan? Who's
No, Sean Astin stays.
Stays.
So like anytime we do the casting the Fellowship, the one Fellowship member stays, and we recast the Fellowship around him. Okay,
so Link is
Orlando Bloom.
All
right, I'm gonna write this down in case we want to do another thread, because I had fun doing the Pirates thread the other day.
Yeah, no, it's very good. So Link is Orlando Bloom.
Link, Orlando Bloom.
Do you keep Pauly Shore? You can't, right?
I think it's Elijah Wood. I think Elijah Wood's got that in him.
Well, I don't think he'd be doing it as Pauly Shore, though.
I want to see Elijah Wood's Pauly Shore.
Okay,
but I think, but even if he doesn't, I can see Elijah Wood in a tank top with a fishnet shirt over it and like big old parachute jeans.
It is funny actually because it's similar to what Sean Astin's character is wearing in 51st Dates.
I feel like it's an homage to it almost. Like
it's gotta be. I wonder. I have to look this up, and I didn't before this. I actually have a feeling Sean Astin didn't enjoy working with Pauly Shore, but I think Brendan Fraser enjoyed working with Pauly Shore.
Yeah. I think they play off each other well.
Yeah, I mean, because Brendan Fraser is he's basically doing Meisner the whole time. He's like, what are you doing? I'll repeat it. Like, he's so keyed in. All right, I love Elijah Wood as that. All right, next one is Robin. I think you put Eowyn as Robin.
Oh, Miranda Otto? Okay.
Uh-huh, I think you do. And then Ella I'm just going by the IMDb order.
Yeah,
Ella
I'm okay with
is the one that's interested in.
I think like the fact that she's interested in Link, you put Liv Tyler in that one.
Oh, actually, It is the Robin and Dave romance, quote unquote, is a little bit rosy. It's kind of, you actually you should put the rosy actress in the Robin role.
Oh no, I don't want any semblance of Rosie Cotton and Samwise Gamgee in this. Like, no, that's that 5-second marriage on screen has 10,000 times the chemistry that this does. Don't you fucking sully my Rosie Cotton with this shit.
Okay, Ella is played by Jesus Christ, you're so right. You're right. But like, you could do a hypercut though of this.
No.
Okay.
Someone I don't mean to just totally shut you down because you're so excited about it.
Someone should do a hypercut. Oh. Someone could.
Oh yeah, let's you have Sam showing up to the Green Dragon with a baby picture of Rosie. Remember when we were naked in a tub together?
That's exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Ella is played by Arwen, who's Liv Tyler. Matt the bully is Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Like, yeah, because he's got that same haircut in a lot of things too, like the kind of like the crew cut.
Yeah. The teacher Phil, who I believe is in Billy Madison. I think he's in Billy Madison.
I know. I think he's what I saw him from is he's what's her name? The very funny actress from Scary Movie.
Anna.
Yeah,
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris. He's her father in the first Scary Movie.
He's in like some of these campy films. We'd recognize him. I think we cast. I was gonna say Ian McKellen, but you could probably do John Rhys.
John Rhys Davies. I see it.
Yeah. Who's Will?
I'm guessing.
Is it one of the buddy, like the bullies?
It's got to be one of the bullies' buddies. I don't think.
Aragorn, then they just put him there, okay, that's not good casting. I think you go down to Mrs. Morgan, and she is Galadriel.
Yeah, and
Mr. Morgan is probably Ian McKellen.
I was gonna say, who's the Mr. or Mrs. Morgan? Kate Blanchett, Mr. Morgan. You don't want to do Hugo Weaving? Coming in with that stern forehead of his.
He's just so checked out. The dad is just so checked out. Like, I think
that was the one thing that I thought they were gonna do something with, of like how checked out the 90s parents are. Like, that's such a 90s trope of just like suburbia. Like they don't pay attention to the kids, but they didn't do anything with them like at all.
Okay, by the way, I'm remembering now, they call it the Mountain. They didn't even bother calling it Magic Mountain. They just called it the Mountain.
No, they say something. I promise. I promise you, go rewatch the scene.
Okay.
Like, I feel like they say Mystic Mountain or something.
I'm pretty sure it's just the Mountain. You went to the mountain?
Went to the mountain.
So the other character I would enjoy casting, because we also, let's see, we have to do the cave nug.
Yeah, who would that be? Would that be Liv Tyler?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no, or is it that's the thing. I should be like, who's the gorgeous woman that has no lines and it's just at the end of the movie as eye candy? Who do you want to put as like these amazing talented actors?
Rosie. Yeah. But we have to cast Enrique from The Bar also. And I think that's Andy Serkis.
I could see that. Him making him drink tequila. Oh, also the fact that we didn't another terrible part of this movie is they go to basically the Smithsonian in Encino, and he has a legit freak out, and Sean Astin's like, "What are you doing? What's wrong with you?" It's like, oh my, choke him the fuck out.
And Pauly Shore again's he knows, man. He knows. God, he has no emotional awareness whatsoever.
Just none. All right, so who else we got? The driving instructor, I think, should be Christopher Lee, where he's just don't fire your barber or whatever he says.
Wait, what?
Like when he like he says it to Robin, like, oh,
Oh,
third
'cause
time's a
your-
charm.
your-
He's just like
your
throwing
hair.
out shots. He's just throwing out shots to his students.
That's right.
So
Fire
great.
your barber to Brendan Fraser's character. That's great. Yeah, that's perfect. And then
The two skateboarding duo is got to be Dominic and Billy.
yes, are they? They're not also the hip hop guys though, right?
Okay, that's the thing is that there's two hip hop guys, there's two skateboarder guys, and then there's like there's like 3 different pairs in this movie, and they should all be Dominic and Billy.
I totally agree. I was gonna say
Because
the
you
same
only
exact
see
thing.
them once each, basically. So it's just like they just like become different, like stereotypes of high school.
It's fucking crazy too that the two hip hop guys, when Brendan Fraser walks by them, they have one of the lockers open with Sharpie written on it, hip hop, in case you didn't know
Just
that
in
that's
case.
what they're doing.
Just in case.
And they're so white. Like one guy's maybe like Latino or mixed, and there's like no black representation in this
Nope.
entire film.
Nope.
And it's so badly appropriated, but it's also emblematic of that era and the Valley.
Yeah,
too,
they are
you
in
know?
Encino, so there would be a couple of white kids with baggy pants on listening to Run DMC.
Insane. Anyway, so yes, Dominic and what's his face? Well, I'll never remember his name.
Monahan
I'd
and
say
Billy Boyd?
Billy Boyd, yes, are doing that. And we are casting Enrique, the guy who gets him drunk, as Andy Serkis. Does that feel
Yes,
good?
that's Andy Serkis.
Do we have anything for Aragorn?
Maybe the Ki Kwan character?
I could see him. He could be weird and dorky. We're casting them at the ages too.
Yes,
like
we're
you know
not
what I mean?
casting 35-year-old Hugo Weaving as a high schooler.
No, but yeah, I guess so. Because I don't see him doing anything else really.
I besides like being the Will, Phil's,
The buddy.
yeah, the buddy
Oh,
of
yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyone we're missing?
Got
Did we
Elijah
put
Wood?
Ian McKellen?
No, we didn't.
Is he the dog?
He's the
No,
dog.
he's the dog is like also treated poorly too.
And he's so nice to Link. Oh my gosh, when he comes out of the ice and he's just like, this little head on his. Oh, it's so sweet.
And they do the hands on top
Yeah.
of each other. This is a hard film to cast everybody.
Yeah, because
in.
like once you get past like the high, like there's 2 teachers that have lines, and it just like it's a typical '90s movie where it's just you just fill the voids.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right. Did we do it?
We did it.
Okay. Fuck.
How do you feel about this movie revisiting it? Don't worry, I'm not going to go on another rant.
You could go on rants. I enjoy your rants. Let's put it this way. I'm actually glad to have it like beat for beat fresh in my brain because I remember it lovingly, finding it in the middle of the night. My brother and I watching, Max or something as a kid. And I enjoyed it. And it is funny, and I really enjoyed getting into it with Pauly Shore again. It makes me want to watch Son-in-Law again. It makes me want to watch Into the Army. It makes me want to watch Biodome.
Yeah.
But I also am really grateful that I have this and just Brendan Fraser. I could also do a rewatch of every Brendan Fraser movie that I know and love as well. But it just makes me grateful that I have so much better narrative literacy that I'm able to go, Sean Astin's character is balls. And like sometimes maybe I might have been like, if this was 10 or 15 years ago, I might have gone, I don't know why I don't like this, or so, you know what I mean? But now
Yeah.
I've done enough of this commentary to and work on improv and stuff to go, that's just a poorly written character. I don't care whether it was 90s or trying to go watch Can't Buy Me Love and watch the charming version of this, where there's
Okay.
actual real comeuppance
Yeah.
for a character that's not perfect, but also just trying.
I don't need him to be Samwise, where he's just like infallible and giving speeches and stuff, but just like he never changes in this movie.
Yeah. I would say give Can't Buy Me Love. You'll see like the homage to it. And again, this movie doesn't need to be yeah, just like you said, it doesn't need to be like, oh, look at all these things I'm learning. It is just, look, here's another funny scene. Here's another funny scene. But don't make Sean Astin a total fucking creep weirdo who doesn't deserve the girl at the end because he's got nothing redemptive.
That's the thing.
So that's
like,
how I feel.
I feel like people are going to be like, oh, well, what are you looking for? You know, fucking some Academy Award movie? No, I'm not. I'm looking for someone that I'd like to root for, though. Like,
Rudy.
I like Rudy. Like, I'm here for 80 minutes. I'm in and out. I know this is a surface level movie, but what's on the surface? It's a lot of shitty shit.
It really is. When Pauly Shore is your, I mean, I guess he is the protagonist and son-in-law, but like when he's like the heart of your film, I don't know, man. I don't know. But easy watch, funny moments, still like really clips, and you can't. It's not hard work watching Brendan Fraser just be awesome.
Yeah, again, like as much as I didn't enjoy this, you're in and you're out. You know, this isn't, you know, some Zack Snyder 3-hour sci-fi movie on Netflix or something like that. So it wasn't too painful or anything like that. It just was tough because there's really good Sean Astin movies out there.
It's tough to watch Sean Astin not be good. And this is something I've talked about before. Like, there are pockets. Doesn't mean he's not a good actor, but there are pockets for actors, especially when it comes to TV and film, and this is not the pocket for him.
And it's the thing, like, I'd love to see Sean Astin, like, be evil. I'd love to see that, but I can't just see him be, like, some, not even nonchalant, like, too cool for school. Like, he's just not great.
Yeah.
Like, he's so nothing in this movie on the negative side that it's just unenjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that's our take of this, and we're continuing our Beyond Middle-earth series. Who are we doing next? We were supposed to decide.
We should have decided.
We're doing so much.
Let's
Liv Tyler?
Yeah, let's do Liv Tyler.
I'd love to do Liv Tyler.
So off the top of my head, I'm thinking Armageddon.
Yes, absolutely.
Empire Records.
Absolutely.
There's another one. Is it James Gunn? Liv Tyler? It's like the superhero one, but
there's the Hulk.
Oh, there's the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk, because that's the Edward Norton Hulk.
Ed Norton, yeah.
Oh, there's the Strangers.
I'm not aware of this.
We could watch the big spoopy movie, which is very good.
I don't want to watch spoopy.
Let's see. Jersey Girl.
Sure.
And then what was I thinking of? There's Super, which is a really funny kind of superhero-ish movie with Dwight from The Office.
Okay.
With Rainn Wilson. So we've got some options. We'll narrow them down.
Maybe we'll do it where people can nominate movies, and then we'll kind of go with the best aggregate. But like, we should definitely keep Empire Records, even though she's not a big role in that.
Empire Records and Armageddon are the two for sure ones. Like those are head to head right there. Those are the heavy hitters in my mind, and then we can fill out the last two with, because we can do an Aerosmith music video and just talk about that.
Her and Alicia Silverstone just being sexy.
Yeah.
Crazy town.
She's
just so beautiful. Anyway, Ben, this is fun times. Tell our friends about the Patreon.
We have so much going on the Patreon, guys. Like, the fact that we are doing Patreon exclusive episodes on House of the Dragons, and I think the last episode, we're going episode by episode with each review. We're getting it out as soon as possible. Like, we're recording this on Sunday morning. In 12 hours. Can't wait. I cannot wait. Like, with how this season started, with a blood and cheese, like, oh my gosh, just
there's so much to talk about too, because I'm getting these articles and the TikToks and all of it. So yeah, I'm excited. Join us for our hot takes and our rants. You can follow us anywhere you find Podcasts of the Rings, and also do be sure to like, subscribe. Let's go.
Yes, on YouTube it's JLV Podcasts though, so make sure. Right. Yeah. Make sure you guys...
But if they're here, they already know that.
That's very true. But if you're listening and you want to watch it on YouTube with our dumb faces, feel free.
I'll post the link to our YouTube channel in our liner notes, so you can find it easily there as well. All right, and until next time, Ben.
May our paths meet again.
Bye, buddy.
Buddy.